Hi, I'm Cindi Hane, Vice President of Logistics Products for Elemica. I've been doing a lot of work lately to help our customers quantify the value of using a supply chain operating network for their logistics processes. And I'd like to share with you what I found out. But first, let me go through what we mean when we say a supply chain operating network. Elemica considers this the combination of B2B integration, supply chain process automation and collaboration, and analytics. So consider logistics being such a collaborative process as it is, involving so many different trading partners in each transaction between you, your carriers, your customers, forwarders, third-party logistics providers, etc. You can really start to see how the supply chain operating concept could really add value to your operations. Imagine all of these trading partners together in one community looking at the same transactional data, yet have that translated to meet the needs of their back-end systems. Imagine also these trading partners being able to come together in a collaborative platform and eliminate all of the phone calls, the disparate emails, and all of the other spreadsheets and one-off processes that usually happen in a logistics process. And then finally, consider the fact that if you have this transactional data that everyone's looking at, you can do things like manage by exception and monitor your performance in real time, all looking again at the same set of data. What I'm describing here is a supply chain operating network for logistics. So back to quantifying the value. I've considered logistics cost in three categories. You have freight costs, you have labor costs, and you have order to cash cycle costs. Yes, I have quantified the value of improving your order to cash cycle. It's actually not so hard, and I'll show you how I did it in a minute. So let's see how the savings stack up.
The data used in our analysis was a combination of averages taken from Elemica's supply chain operating network and public sources. Let me give you some details. We considered an environment with about 90,000 shipments per year, and we used conservative costs for salary and benefits for administrative labor. This would be things such as your traffic office personnel. We considered process industry average for sales volume per shipment, which we derived from looking at our own data in the supply chain operating network of Elemica. We also used public information to estimate interest rate, days of inventory, receivable turnover, and cost of goods sold. There were other assumptions required for the analysis, things like freight cost and invoice figures, which we also pulled from the Elemica supply chain operating network or from customer interviews. A few caveats about the data. It is mostly skewed towards full truckload, but it is an even mix between European and North American shipments. Our value calculator allocates total savings back to the transactional level, so in our case, savings per shipment. So looking again at the three areas for logistics cost savings, we have labor. Labor savings can be derived from automating the booking and the payment process, as well as improving the productivity of the team that does the tracking and execution for providing status information to your customers. In our analysis, this equates to about $31 per shipment. Freight costs represent the largest portion of logistics costs and therefore the largest opportunity for savings. We have found that there are many opportunities in the negotiation process and that you can also quantify things such as eliminating errors that cause canceled and missed shipments and by increasing control over the accessorial costs. Through those improvements, we estimate that you can save $171 per shipment. And lastly, cash-to-cash cycle improvements. This comes from reducing disputes due to having accurate shipment delivery information, as well as having better data synchronization between you and your third-party storage partners. Through our analysis, we estimate that you can save another $38 per shipment through cash-to-cash cycle improvements. This totals $240 savings per shipment. Certainly not insignificant, especially when you look at a volume of shipments that we looked at in our analysis. So again, here are the data assumptions that we use. Take a look at these and see how they compare to your environment. We would welcome the opportunity to discuss your particular case and plug in the numbers that best describe your logistics environment. So to recap, You can achieve some significant savings by implementing Elemica's supply chain operating network for logistics management processes. Savings come from reducing your labor, lowering your freight costs, and improving your cash-to-cash cycle.
So you see in my example here, I'm demonstrating a savings of approximately $250 per shipment from using a supply chain operating network for your shipment transactions. Your environment's likely different. We'd love the opportunity to talk to you about that and help you assess what you could save by using Elemica's supply chain operating network for logistics.